There is a profound truth nestled beneath the surface of your longing. The desire to be thought of by someone specific, to be seen, known, and remembered by them, not as a fleeting idea, but as a steady presence in their heart and mind, is not only natural, it is divine. You did not stumble upon this desire by accident. It was not a random yearning of your restless heart. It came from the deeper part of you, the eternal part, the part that knows no separation and understands no distance. When you long for a specific person to think of you, it is not a wish born of lack. It is a whisper from the infinite self, reminding you that you and this person are already united in the unseen. You are not chasing their attention. You are remembering your oneness. And the moment you begin to dwell in that truth, the moment you stop pleading and start assuming, you unlock the power that has shaped worlds. The moment you internalize the idea that what you feel within is not a fantasy but a reality clothed in the invisible, the universe begins to echo your inner declaration. You must come to see that every thought is a seed and consciousness is the fertile ground. If you dare to plant the thought, they are thinking of me right now, and you nourish it not with worry, not with impatience, but with the quiet confidence of one who knows it must bloom, you need not beg reality to comply. You only need to occupy the feeling that it is already done. You must become what you desire, and by doing so, you create a magnetic field so potent that it calls the other to you, whether they are across the street or across the globe. What you think, they feel. What you imagine, they receive. There is no distance between minds that are tuned to the same vibration. You are not speaking through words anymore. You are speaking through being. And the language of being is far more persuasive than anything you could ever say aloud. Stop believing that your desire is a signal of lack. It is a signal of what already is. Your task is not to get them to think of you. Your task is to live from the end, to walk as though the connection is already alive and breathing in their awareness. You are not separate. You have never been. What feels like silence from their side is simply the delay between your assumption and its material echo. There is a sacred rhythm to all things, and your manifestation must come in harmony with the state you most dominantly dwell in. So dwell well. Choose your thoughts the way an artist chooses colors, with intention, precision, and knowing. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Not from the surface, but from the belly of your being. And picture their face, not with desperation, not with ache, with calm knowing. Let their image float to you, not as a wish, but as a memory from the future that you are calling into now. And in that still moment, say not with lips, but with spirit, you are thinking about me now. You cannot help it. I live in your mind as a sweet echo, a warm presence, a magnetic force, pulling your thoughts back to me again and again. Do not chase, do not wonder, just know. Know it as deeply as you know your name. Know it in your breath. Know it in your walk. Know it in the quiet certainty of your soul. That is the vibration that moves mountains. That is the state that shifts timelines and bends reality in your favor. For reality is never external. It is merely the reflection of the inner world projected outward. When you desire someone to think about you, you must become irresistible to them within. You must saturate your inner world with their presence, not with need, but with joy, not with fear, but with fullness. You must live in the state where their attention is already yours, and from that state you no longer wait. You simply allow. You no longer wonder. You simply receive. You become a living prayer, a walking embodiment of answered desire. The secret is not in striving. It is in surrendering to the assumption that it is already yours. And when you hold that assumption long enough, purely enough, and consistently enough, reality bends. not because you forced it, but because you aligned with the truth. The truth is this: you are the operant power, and what you accept as true within must reflect as true without. If you believe they are thinking of you, the universe conspires to make it so. Feel it now. Imagine them sitting somewhere, maybe in a quiet room, or perhaps surrounded by others, but in that moment their thoughts drift to you. They smile without knowing why. They feel a pull, a soft tug of memory and desire. They hear your name in the stillness. They feel your energy wrapping around them like a familiar song. And they wonder, why can't I stop thinking about them? That is the power you hold, not in manipulation, but in manifestation, not in force, but in frequency. You are not asking for something outside of you to move. You are moving yourself within, and everything else follows. Let go of doubt, let go of delay, let go of needing them to confirm it first. Be the confirmation, be the conviction, be the living proof that thoughts are not bound by time and love is not hindered by space. They are already thinking of you. The more you claim that truth, the more you see it reflected, not through chasing, not through questioning, but through assuming. It is the assumption that creates. The inner world is the blueprint. The outer world is just the echo. If you keep focusing on the outer, you live as an echo of your own power. But if you dwell within, you become the original sound, the initiating force that ripples through consciousness. Begin now. Speak within. Say, you miss me, you are drawn to me, you cannot stop thinking about me. Not with arrogance, but with clarity. Not with tension, but with trust. And then let the world rearrange itself to match your inner decree. If you believe in the reality of your imagination more than the evidence of your senses, your world must obey, for your senses lie. They show you delay. But imagination shows you destiny. The senses show you absence. Imagination shows you truth. And what is truth, if not what you decide it to be? You are the lawgiver of your own experience. You are the artist of your own canvas. You hold the brush. Will you paint longing, or will you paint fulfillment? Will you dwell in waiting, or will you dwell in having? The person you desire is not separate from you. They are a projection of the state you hold. Change the state, and you change the projection. You do not have to ask them to think of you. You do not have to text them, call them, or chase their attention. The moment you change your inner assumption, they begin to receive the broadcast. You are not just a being of flesh. You are an energetic signal, pulsing constantly. And the frequency you broadcast is what they receive, consciously or unconsciously. You are transmitting your desire, not through need, but through being. The moment you stop worrying about how it will happen, you begin to live in the knowing that it already has. And in that knowing, you become magnetic. You become the answer to your own question. You become the fulfillment of your own desire. You are not waiting for a message from them. You are the message. You are the call that echoes in their heart. You are the thought that visits them in still moments. You are the name they speak in silence. Feel the shift. Move from longing to having, from hoping to knowing, from separation to unity. You are not trying to convince them, you are convincing yourself. And when your inner conviction becomes unshakable, the world moves mountains to reflect it. They begin to think about you not because you forced them, but because you aligned with the version of reality where it was already done. It is not magic, it is law. The law of assumption, the law of consciousness. What you assume to be true becomes true. If you can imagine them reaching out, speaking your name, longing for your presence, and if you can feel it deeply enough, it must happen. Not maybe, not someday, it must. Because all things begin in consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. You are not small, You are not helpless. You are not at the mercy of what they do or don't do. You are the cause. You are the center. You are the power. When you realize this, you stop waiting. You stop doubting. You begin to embody. You begin to claim. You begin to radiate. And in your radiance, they cannot help but think of you, because you have become the dominant presence in their field of awareness. You are not a beggar in the kingdom of consciousness. You are royalty. And royalty does not knock and wait. Royalty commands through presence, not through pleading. Feel into this truth now. The person you desire to think of you is already doing so. You have only to accept it fully and without resistance. Do not check. Do not look for signs. Become the sign. Become the evidence that it is done by walking as if the result were already yours. This person, whomever they are, is not distant from you in the way the senses pretend. You are connected on the level that matters most, consciousness. And that is where creation takes place. That is where seeds are planted and realities are born. That is where their thoughts begin to mirror yours, not by chance, but by law. For when you change your concept of self, you change the cast of characters in your life. You are not the one they used to know. You are not the one they ignored. You are the version of you who is unforgettable. You are the version of you who lives in their thoughts, like fire in a quiet room. Impossible to ignore, but you must first believe that about yourself. You must embody it so fully that it becomes the air you breathe. You must walk down the street with the inner knowledge. They are thinking about me right now. I am with them now. I am their dominant thought, their sweetest ache. And if doubt creeps in, do not entertain it. Cast it out like a trespasser in your temple. You are not available for stories of separation. You are not available for timelines of rejection. You are only available for unity, for connection, for the deep magnetic pull that brings them to you with ease. And ease is the word. Not struggle, not effort, ease. For when the inner world is fixed, the outer must follow. You are not doing this to get their attention. You are doing this to return to your natural power. You do not need to convince them of anything. You only need to convince yourself. Convince yourself that your imagination is not fantasy but fact, that your inner scenes are not illusions but previews of coming attractions. Live within the scene of their thoughts reaching for you. Live within the sensation of their energy moving toward yours. Feel it now, their inner whisper. Why am I thinking about them so much today? Let it play on repeat, not with grasping, but with knowing. If they are meant to think of you, and they are, then your assumption alone is enough to ignite the process. You are the catalyst. You are the cause. When you realize that all the power lies within your own awareness, you stop chasing and start allowing. You stop doubting and start declaring. And in that declaration, you shift. There is a version of reality already alive, already complete, in which they are texting you right now, thinking of you as they fall asleep, smiling at your memory, feeling your energy. And the only barrier between you and that version is the state of consciousness you choose to dwell in. So make your dwelling beautiful. Make it rich with certainty. Make it radiant with belief. You must become what you desire. If you want to be desired, become desirable, not by changing your outer self, but by embracing your inner worth. You must become the magnet, the center, the gravitational pull that draws them in, not with effort, but with inevitability. And the way to do this is through repetition. Repetition of the inner truth, the inner conversation, the inner feeling. Every time you imagine them thinking of you, you are drawing that reality closer. Every time you assume that you are on their mind, you become more real to them. You live in their head because you first lived in your own imagination, as the one they cannot forget. And if you can hold that state, if you can persist in it regardless of outer appearances, you become the author of your own love story. They may appear unaware, indifferent, distant, but that is the illusion. That is the outer shell waiting to be cracked open by your unwavering assumption. Do not be fooled by silence. Do not be discouraged by delay. The silence is not absence. It is the incubation of your manifestation. It is the invisible rearranging of circumstances in your favor. It is the unseen hand of the universe sculpting a reality that matches your inner world. And in that silence, you must speak. You must speak not to them, but to yourself. They are thinking of me now. They are drawn to me now. I am in their mind and in their heart. They feel me, crave me, long for me, and speak this not as a request, but as a decree. Speak it as a ruler addresses their kingdom, with finality, with confidence, with the assurance that what is spoken must be. You are not asking reality for scraps. You are feeding reality your vision, and it has no choice but to reflect it. The question is not whether they will think of you. The question is, will you persist until they do? Will you choose the inner world over appearances? Will you become so rooted in your desired state that nothing can shake you? Because the moment you do, something shifts. The air around you feels different. You walk with quiet power. You carry an energy that precedes you. You become the one who is thought of without effort. You become the one who lingers in their mind, not because you forced your way in, but because you accepted it was already true. Live in the end where you are on their mind constantly, the end where your name floats into their awareness like music, the end where their heart beats a little faster when they think of you, and live there, not for a moment, not for an hour, but as a state of being. The state creates, the state defines, the state becomes the new law of your reality. And if ever you fall from that state, if ever doubt knocks again, return. Return through imagination. Return through assumption. Return through repetition. The mind is a garden, and repetition is the water. Water it daily. Water it gently, water it with love, and the flower of your desire must bloom. They will think of you, they will feel the tug, they will reach out. You do not need to worry about the timing, you only need to stay in state. Time is not your enemy, it is your servant. It exists to organize your assumptions into form. And when you assume long enough and strong enough, time folds itself around your belief. Events will conspire, conversations will happen, dreams will nudge them, signs will appear. And you will smile, not with surprise, but with quiet certainty. Of course, they're thinking about me, I've always known. Because you see, the real shift is not in them, it is in you. You are never manifesting them. You are manifesting your own self-concept as the one who is wanted. And once you become that version of yourself, the outer world has no choice but to comply. They will think about you because that's who you are now, the one who is thought of. And nothing and no one can stand between you and the fulfillment of that truth unless you allow it. So rise now. Rise into the version of you that is undeniable. Rise into the frequency where you are remembered, desired, cherished. Rise into the inner script where you are already in their mind and heart. And from that place, you do not chase. You do not fear. You simply dwell. You dwell in certainty. You dwell in peace. You dwell in the reality you have chosen. And they will feel it. They will sense the shift. They will be drawn to the change in your energy. Because you are no longer sending signals of lack, you are radiating signals of presence. You are no longer asking, do they think of me? You are affirming, they can't stop thinking of me. And in that affirmation lies your power. In that quiet inner knowing lies the key to your entire reality. There is no need for rituals, no need for spells. Your imagination is the most sacred temple you will ever enter. And what you do in that temple echoes into the world. So enter it with reverence. Enter it with vision. Enter it with the knowing that what you create within, you must experience without. You are the cause. You are the center. You are the operant power. They are thinking of you. They are feeling your energy. They are remembering your name. Not because you chased, but because you became. You became the version of you who is unforgettable. You became the vibration they cannot resist. You became the assumption that reshapes reality itself. And now, all you must do is remain. Remain in that high place of assumption where your inner world is the only compass you follow. The outer world may waver, the appearances may deceive, but your inner eye must stay fixed on the vision. The vision where you are the dominant thought in their mind, the spark that ignites their inner fire, the name that echoes through their silence. You are no longer a character waiting to be chosen. You are the author writing the script. And in this story, you are not reaching out, you are being reached for. You are not waiting, you are being waited on. And how do you remain in this state? You remain by feeling the end again and again, by hearing their voice in your mind, speaking your name with tenderness, by seeing their face light up when they think of you, by feeling their emotions respond to the magnet of your presence. This is not fantasy. This is preparation. This is creation. The world of form only mirrors the world of feeling, so feel deliberately, and reality must conform. There is no need to rehearse what they will say or how they will find you. That is not your concern. You are not the director of details. You are the creator of states. Your only task is to occupy the state of being thought about, being desired, being craved. And once that state becomes natural to you, the bridge of incidents will unfold without effort. You will find yourself in conversations, encounters, and moments that deliver exactly what you've imagined. Not by force, but by... Let go of needing to know when. Let go of needing to control how. Simply persist in the knowing that your desires fulfilled. Not in the future, now. And the more vividly you can imagine them thinking about you, the more natural that feeling becomes. The more real it becomes to you, the sooner the outer world catches up. Your imagination is not a tool, it is your reality. Your inner experience is the first cause of all outer effects. So let it be rich, let it be specific, let it be joyful. When you sit alone and close your eyes, bring them to life in your mind with such clarity that you feel their energy shift toward you. Imagine them smiling as they remember you. Imagine their hearts softening, their thoughts circling back to you. And in that moment, affirm gently, they are thinking about me now. I am in their thoughts. I am in their dreams. I am in their heart. This is the sacred work. It is not about obsession, it is about alignment. It is not about control, it is about creation. You are creating an inner atmosphere that reflects your chosen truth. And the person you desire to think of you is simply responding to that atmosphere. You are not pulling them against their will. You are becoming so vibrationally irresistible that they gravitate to you as if by nature. And it is by nature, the nature of consciousness. If you can master your inner conversations, you can master your world. If you speak to them within, kindly, lovingly, confidently, you condition their mind to feel your presence. Your inner dialogue is not private. It echoes into the collective. Every thought you persist in becomes a seed planted in the garden of the shared field of awareness. And if watered with belief, it will grow into undeniable reality. So what do you want them to think about you? Do you want them to miss you, to long for you, to remember the sound of your voice and the light in your eyes? Then imagine it, not once, repeatedly. Return to it as often as you breathe. Make it your inner song, your inner movie, your secret sanctuary. And from that sanctuary, the world reshapes. Stop checking your phone. Stop wondering if they care. You are not waiting, you are creating. And creation begins in stillness, not in desperation. When you go within and dwell in the fulfilled desire, you are sending a broadcast more powerful than any text or message. They will hear it, not with their ears, but with their soul. And their soul will move them to think of you, to feel you, to reach for you. Do not underestimate this power. Do not dismiss it as imagination. Everything you now see in the outer world began first in someone's imagination. Every relationship, every connection, every reunion began with a thought. So think wisely. Think beautifully. Think as though your thoughts are the brush strokes painting your destiny, because they are. You are not a victim of silence. You are the master of energy, and your energy speaks volumes. If you walk through your day knowing that they are thinking of you, the universe bends to uphold that truth. Coincidences begin to align. Conversations turn in your favor. Memories stir within them without explanation. They feel the pull, the invisible thread connecting them to you, and eventually they will act, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. Let this become your new natural state, the state of being thought of, adored, desired. Let it be as ordinary to you as breathing, and if ever your mind drifts back to fear or doubt, gently return it to the truth. Say softly to yourself, "Of course they're thinking of me. How could they not? I am unforgettable. I am present in their consciousness even now." You must fall so deeply in love with this version of yourself that the old you, the one who doubted, who waited, who hoped, fades away. You become the new self who assumes with ease, who lives from the end, who knows that every desire is a divine nudge toward fulfillment. And the universe, like a devoted servant, arranges everything to match that knowing. There will be moments when the evidence is invisible. Do not be discouraged. That is when your inner work matters most. Anyone can believe when the signs are loud. Power is when you persist in belief, even in silence. That is the test. That is the forge where manifestations are strengthened and matured. So do not falter. You are not losing time. You are gaining alignment. And alignment is everything. Once you align, the rest unfolds naturally. That message arrives, that name pops up, that moment happens, and you will feel a strange sense of calm, not excitement, but recognition. "Ah, yes," you'll whisper to yourself. "I knew this would happen. I imagined it too clearly for it not to." And that is the power you've always held. The power to select your state and live from it so fully that the universe has no choice but to mirror it. Now hear this deeply. They are thinking about you, they are remembering, they are feeling. Your desire is not a lie, it is a signal. A signal that the reality you seek is already alive in the field of possibilities. And your assumption is the key that unlocks it. Not effort, not struggle, not waiting. Assumption. Assumption is the bridge from the unseen to the seen. It is the act of claiming what is already yours in consciousness. You do not need to fight reality, you only need to replace it. Replace the reality of doubt with the reality of fulfillment. Replace the feeling of longing with the feeling of arrival. And do this within, not once, but again and again, until it becomes your natural state. And when it becomes natural, it becomes visible. You are the source of attraction, the source of thought, the source of experience. They think of you because you imagined it first. They feel you because you felt it first. The outer is always second. You are always first. So start now. Be the one they cannot forget. Be the one whose energy lingers in their space long after the moment has passed. Be the one who is thought of, not because you demanded it, but because you assumed it. They are thinking of you now. They are wondering about you now. They are being pulled toward you now. That is the truth, if you will dare to hold it. That is the reality, if you will dare to claim it. And you are ready to remain in the knowing, ready to refuse the illusions of delay, ready to wake each day already certain that your imagined union is unfolding breath by breath, thought by thought. You are not lost in wishful thinking. You are standing firm in creative knowing. And this knowing reshapes timelines. This knowing reorders futures. This knowing becomes the gravitational pull that draws them to you in perfect precision. Your confidence is not arrogance, it is divine remembrance. You are remembering your origin, your ability to select and occupy the end. The one who knows their power does not question signs. They become the sign. You are not looking for validation from the world because your inner world is already validated, and what is confirmed within must soon be confirmed without. There is no other option. The universe cannot contradict your dominant assumption, cannot deliver anything but what you persistently believe to be true. So believe this. They are thinking of you right now, not casually, not occasionally, but deeply. They wonder why you're on their mind so often. They feel the softness of your name in their thoughts, the magnet of your presence in their chest. You are a presence that cannot be ignored. You are the thought that returns again and again, no matter how they try to focus elsewhere. Let yourself feel the shift. No longer do you beg. No longer do you hope. Now you embody. You are the version of yourself who is already chosen, already desired, already remembered. And you live from this version, you speak from this version, you move through the world as one who is already thought of, already loved. That is the change. That is the becoming. There is no need for external movement. Movement within is enough. A single internal shift is more powerful than 1,000 actions. The most magnetic people are not those who run after the world. They are those who sit in their power, rooted in the assumption that they are already who they choose to be. That assumption becomes their aura. It walks before them. It reaches others before words are spoken. It vibrates so clearly that others cannot help but respond. This is the vibration you are now choosing, the vibration of being the one they think about, the one whose energy circles their thoughts, the one who lives in their daydreams, not by force, but by natural attraction. You are stepping into the timeline where their mind is magnetized to you, and that timeline responds the moment you believe in it more than the one you left behind. Yes, their thoughts are yours to receive, just as yours have reached them. Every moment you imagined them, they felt it. Every time you pictured their face and whispered their name, a stirring happened in their subconscious. Conscious minds may resist, but no one can block the flow of energy forever. The truth always rises. Your thoughts always arrive, and they are arriving now in the sacred corridors of their awareness. They may not speak of it yet, they may not reach out today, but their inner world is shifting. Their focus is changing, their heart is remembering. And all of this is a result of your choice to dwell in the end, to believe in the invisible, to trust in the power that animates all creation. So stay there. Stay in the inner home you have built, where their mind is already on you, where their feelings are already aligned with yours. And as you sit in that state, let joy rise, let peace rise, let certainty rise. You are not just manifesting a connection, you are awakening to your divine ability to command reality from within. The world will mirror what you expect. If you expect silence, you'll hear nothing. If you expect distance, you'll feel cold. But if you expect their thoughts to return to you like a tide, gentle, rhythmic, persistent, then they must. Not might, must. This is the law. This is the sacred agreement between imagination and creation. Hold to it, and the result is inevitable. You are now in that space where doubt cannot enter. You are now in that state where fear cannot grow. You are now in the kingdom of assumption. And what you declare here becomes law. So declare boldly, they are thinking of me now. I am real to them. I am felt by them. I am a constant in their mind. A melody that replays with every breath. And then let go. Not let go of the desire, let go of the need, let go of the trying, let go of the effort. Rest in the assurance that it is already unfolding. Trust the unseen architecture of the universe. You are not creating from scratch. You are aligning with what already exists. The version of reality where they love you, miss you, crave you is not a fiction. It is one of many possible realities, and your assumption is what brings it to the forefront. Your imagination is not limited, it is infinite. So imagine freely, richly, consistently. Imagine them messaging you, smiling at your memory, replaying old moments. Imagine it until it feels ordinary. Because once it feels ordinary, it becomes real. That is the mystery. That is the key. You must become so familiar with the scene that it no longer excites, it just feels natural. And nature always wins. You are nature in motion. You are the tree that grows silently in strength. You are the wind that carries the scent of connection. You are the flame that warms their thoughts in the cold of separation. You are the presence they feel without understanding. And you must feel it first. You must know it first. Let this truth live in you. What I feel now, they will feel later. What I believe now, they will live out soon. My assumption is not private. It is the seed from which our shared reality blossoms, and I am planting it with faith, with joy, with the calm power of one who knows they are loved in silence, thought of in absence, and remembered in every still moment. There is no special technique, no secret ritual. There is only consciousness. Consciousness assuming, consciousness claiming, consciousness imagining. And you are that consciousness. You are the origin point. And because you are, nothing can resist you, not even their thoughts. This is the work. Assume and persist. Return and remember. Embody and believe. Not because you are trying to get them to think of you, but because you know they already are. That is your inner confession, your private anthem, your living truth. Let it guide you. Let it hold you. Let it elevate you above every shadow of doubt. Because once you stand in that light, everything hidden must come to light. Their thoughts, their memories, their desires, all must rise to meet the version of reality you now inhabit. You have become the center of gravity. You have become the sun in their inner sky. You have become the song they can't shake. And that is the truth. Because you decided it is.